So I have a question for you. Is art in decline?
Go on an adventure, go on an adventure, go on.
Have we peaked artistically 10 to 20 years ago, and we are on the downhill and we're in decline? There are a lot of signs that yes, art is in decline. Films, music, visual art. Aside from AI slop churning out infinite amounts of audio and video art that is mostly not good, although sometimes it is shocking, it lacks soul. There are a lot of signs in the financial and business world that art is in decline. I recently read an article saying that record labels have stopped investing as much in new artists and new music, and they're pivoting their business models to buying up copyrights of old songs and old albums. So instead of putting money into artist development and marketing for their new artists that are on their roster, they're putting more than 50% of their revenue into buying up old catalogs, old songs. They're trying to get Let It Be by the Beatles. They're trying to get Weezer's Blue Album. They're trying to get some White Stripes songs. They're trying to get songs that are timeless, that they can charge licensing fees to Hollywood when directors want to put those songs in the credits of a movie or behind the scene in a TV show. And that's turning out to be a better business model for them than developing new music and new artists. So the question is, if the money is in old songs instead of new ones, has art peaked? Has music peaked? If the money's in the past and it's not in the present or the future, if the money's all in old music, then it would seem that the investment is in the past. And it would seem that record labels are saying the best stuff has already happened. We're trying to buy the best stuff, and it's already happened. That's what it seems like. That's what it seems like record labels are saying. And record labels are the largest institution in music. And then you have films. And do people really go to the movie theater anymore? I haven't been in a while. And the last time I went to the movie theater, I went to see Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, because they were cycling it back through. And they did the same thing with Pulp Fiction recently in my town. Pulp Fiction was playing in the movie theaters, and people turned out to go see that instead of whatever new movies are coming out. I don't even know. I don't even pay attention. Like, I just assume they're okay at best. There's been some good shows. I've definitely binged some really good shows in the last 5 to 10 years. Especially historical shows like Vikings was killer. Black Sails was pretty good. Peaky Blinders was A++, 100%. Absolutely shocking cinematography. You were inside that brick world of the Red Right Hand and the smoke and the mud and the factories. You were in it. You were inside it. And, on the more lighthearted side, a lot of my wife's friends that I know are Bridgerton was a big hit, on the more Jane Austen side of things. So there's been some really good historical shows. Aside from that, there's been some gritty ones that were good too, like Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul and Sons of Anarchy. There's been, some grittier shows that show the underbelly of society really well. But aside from shows, let's not even get started on all the new Star Wars shows. But aside from shows, films have really dropped off. And you can look at the numbers of these things. You can look at the money to see what's happening. You can look at record labels and where they're spending their money in the past and go, wow, that's a sign. That's definitely a sign. And you can look at the box office returns on new films that are declining hugely. You know, it's nothing like when Titanic came out. And you can say, ugh, you know, that's declining. You know, large films, you know, epic films are in decline. They would much rather space it out over, you know, 10 to 20 episodes for a show. So the question is art transforming? You know, is it just moving into shows that you stream and the art there is still pretty good? Or is art as a concept in decline partially due to AI, partially due to other factors, financial factors, changing priorities? And honestly, we had some seriously banger songs and movies all through the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and early thousands. We just had killer films and songs. The music was insane from each of those eras. And I was talking to someone about music, and I was saying it seems like now everyone is reinventing, every musical artist is playing off something that already happened. My dad saw The Weeknd perform at the Super Bowl, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago, and he was watching it and he goes, this is just Michael Jackson. And he was like, you know, to him, I mean, he doesn't know who The Weeknd is and he doesn't really care, but to him, he was like, this guy's just trying to be Michael Jackson, you know? And then it's hard to not compare to something that already happened. Benson Boone at the Grammys with a mustache was doing kind of a Freddie Mercury thing. Looked like Freddie Mercury, you know, and the pop songs, very Queen. And it's really hard now to not be immediately typecast as some previous artist or some previous era. Oh, they're doing a spin on 60s psychedelic rock. And, you know, that's what we see. Or, oh, this is a new underground hip hop artist, sounds a lot like, you know, whatever it is. Sounds a lot like some previous artist, you know, and it's really hard to do something new and original now because we had so many killer new original eras. 60s were killer new original, 70s different, 80s different, 90s. We got grunge, we got hip hop and rap exploding. We got all kinds of new stuff. Early thousands, we had a new garage rock revival with like White Stripes and Arctic Monkeys and Libertines. And it's hard to do something new now. It really is difficult to do something musically new. So, yeah, I would love to hear what you have to say on this topic. Do you think that art is in decline? Do you think that the best music has already happened and the best films have been filmed? Or do you think that maybe we're just in a rut, you know? Maybe we're just in a rut and it's gonna take a decade, but we'll get out of it. And some new creative force will spark and people will invent something new again. Or do you think that we have really transitioned into a different era where it is nearly impossible to create something that is truly new and original? And I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on that because I'm undecided. I think that we are definitely at least in a rut. I think that we are definitely at least stalling out artistically right now. And honestly, I don't pay that close of attention. So if you say, oh, you are just not paying attention, you don't know about this, you don't know about this band, you don't know about this film that just came out. If you want to say that and you want to throw recommendations my way, please do that. I will check those out. If you put it in the comments, I'd love to check out new stuff. So if I'm just, you know, got my head in the sand and I'm not paying attention, tell me. But what it seems like to me is that we've definitely stalled out, at least. You know, at least we're in a rut. So let me know in the comments. I would love to hear your opinions on this.
Go on an adventure, go on an adventure, go on.